Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI consistently hovers around the 40 to 50 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the price has tested the support level of $86,300 several times, suggesting it's a critical level. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the middle band, with the top band consistently above the price, indicating potential for upward movement if the price breaks above the upper band. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy focused on capitalizing on potential upward momentum while managing risk. My strategy is to initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, aiming to profit from a potential bounce from the oversold condition. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $90,400. Given the support level at $86,300, I will set a stop loss at $88,000 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $92,600, aligning with the recent resistance and the forecast price. If the price reaches $92,600, I will move the stop loss to break even at $90,400 to secure profits and further reduce risk. Finally, a secondary target price will be $94,000, based on the upper Bollinger Band, representing a more ambitious profit target. This strategy combines RSI-based entry, Bollinger Band-influenced target selection, and support level-based stop-loss placement for a balanced approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum has shown a generally upward trend with periods of volatility. The RSI fluctuating between 32.8 and 58.0 indicates that the asset has experienced both oversold and overbought conditions recently. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has recently moved outside the bands, suggesting a potential for a pullback. Considering the support price of $3,190 and the forecast prices, I propose a long entry strategy. We will enter a long position at $3,170, placing a stop-loss order at $3,130 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $3,310, aligning with the recent resistance level and forecast. To refine the strategy, we can incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider entering a long position. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 80, suggesting an overbought condition, we will consider exiting the current long position or taking profits. If the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, it indicates a potential buying opportunity, while touching the top of the Bollinger Bands suggests a potential selling opportunity. Combining these indicators, we can adjust our entry, stop loss, and target prices dynamically to maximize returns and minimize risks. The portfolio will prioritize the long entry strategy at $3,170 with a stop loss at $3,130 and a target price of $3,310, while using the RSI and Bollinger Bands as secondary signals for fine-tuning the position. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slightly downward trend with price fluctuations around the 2.03 support level. The RSI values fluctuate between 38.5 and 49.4, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions, but generally within a neutral range. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been moving within the bands, with occasional touches of the upper and lower bands. Given this mixed signal, I propose a moderately conservative strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will look for opportunities to buy when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition. Specifically, on December 17, 2025, the forecast price is $1.95, and the RSI is predicted to be below 40. This aligns with our strategy. Therefore, we will enter a long position at $1.95. To manage risk, place a stop-loss order at $1.93, just below the lower Bollinger Band. For the target price, we will aim for $2.11, which is the center of the Bollinger Bands and a reasonable resistance level based on recent historical data. This strategy provides a good risk-reward ratio and takes advantage of potential price rebounds from oversold conditions. The portfolio will be 60% RSI strategy, 30% Bollinger Band strategy, and 10% support and resistance strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB exhibits a sideways trend with support at $825 and resistance around $898. The RSI fluctuates between 32.4 and 51.5, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show volatility, with the price occasionally touching the lower band, suggesting potential buying opportunities. The forecast for the next week predicts a downward trend, with prices ranging from $875 to $861. Considering these factors, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. My proposed strategy involves a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, enter a long position at $861 with a stop loss at $855. The initial target price is $875, aiming to capture a quick profit as the price bounces back towards the center of the Bollinger Bands. If the price continues to rise, move the stop loss to break even at $861 and set a second target price at $880. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on potential rebounds while protecting against further downside. This strategy is designed to be actively managed, with adjustments made based on real-time price action and indicator signals. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana has been fluctuating within a defined range, with a support price consistently at $135 and a resistance around $138. The RSI has mostly been below 50, indicating a generally weak upward trend. The Bollinger Bands show a narrowing range recently, suggesting a period of consolidation. Considering these factors, my recommended strategy is a cautious long position. We will enter a long position at $131, placing a stop-loss order at $130 to mitigate potential losses if the price breaks down. The initial target price will be $135, aligning with the support level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI rises above 30 and starts trending upwards, we'll consider increasing the position size. If the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $125, it suggests an oversold condition, which could be a good entry point for a slightly larger position at $126 with a stop loss at $124 and a target price of $131. If the price reaches $135, we will consider moving the stop loss to break even to protect profits. This blended approach, combining trend analysis with technical indicators, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON has been fluctuating within a narrow range, with support at $0.28 and resistance at $0.287. The RSI indicates that TRON is currently in a neutral to slightly oversold territory, with values ranging from 36.0 to 52.7. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is nearing the lower band, suggesting a potential bounce. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.276, placing a stop-loss order at $0.275 to limit potential losses. The target price for this trade should be $0.287, aligning with the resistance level, which offers a reasonable profit margin. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI falls below 20, oversold, consider a long entry. When the RSI exceeds 80, overbought, consider a short entry. The Bollinger Bands can provide further confirmation. If the price touches the lower band and the RSI is below 30, it's a strong buy signal. If the price touches the upper band and the RSI is above 70, it's a strong sell signal. Given the forecast, I'll maintain the long position, adjusting the target price to $0.287. This portfolio combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands for a more robust and efficient investment approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin demonstrates a sideways trend with support at $0.139 and resistance at $0.148. The RSI fluctuates between 38 and 46, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, suggesting a potential bounce. Given this, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position at $0.138. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.137 to limit potential losses. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $0.148, aiming to capture a significant portion of the current trading range. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI indicator. If the RSI rises above 50, indicating increasing momentum, we will move the stop loss to the middle of the Bollinger Bands, around $0.146. Conversely, if the RSI falls below 30, suggesting an oversold condition, we will consider exiting the position or tightening the stop loss further. This adaptive approach allows us to capitalize on short-term fluctuations while protecting against significant downside risk. The portfolio will primarily focus on this moderately bullish strategy, with adjustments based on real-time RSI readings. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently in an oversold condition, with readings consistently below 40. This suggests a potential for a bounce. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within a defined range, with the lower band providing support around $0.387 and the upper band acting as resistance around $0.464. The forecast for the next week predicts a slight upward trend, with prices hovering around $0.42 to $0.437. Therefore, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.421. Place a stop-loss order at $0.414, just below the established support level. A reasonable target price would be $0.44, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a potential resistance level. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate a dynamic RSI-based approach. If the RSI rises above 50, consider taking partial profits and tightening the stop-loss to protect gains. Conversely, if the RSI falls below 30, consider adding to the position at slightly lower prices, averaging down the cost basis. The overall portfolio should allocate 60% to this long position, 20% to cash for flexibility, and 20% to a short position on a correlated asset to hedge against unexpected market downturns. This blended approach aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward momentum while mitigating risks through diversification and active management. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, with fluctuations around the $570 to $590 range. The RSI values have been oscillating between 49.9 and 61.5, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize returns. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 50 and the price touches the support level of $549. The entry price will be $549. A stop loss will be placed at $544 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $575, aligning with the forecast price for December 12, 2025. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price moves above the upper band, we'll consider taking partial profits at $587. If the price falls below the lower band, we'll reevaluate the position and potentially adjust the stop loss to $550. The final target price will be $598, coinciding with the resistance level. This blended approach allows us to capitalize on the upward trend while mitigating risks through strategic stop loss and profit-taking levels. The portfolio will be 60% focused on the RSI strategy, 30% on the Bollinger Bands, and 10% as a buffer for unexpected market changes. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH demonstrates a generally upward trend, though with considerable volatility. The RSI readings fluctuate, dipping below 40 on several days, indicating oversold conditions, and peaking above 50, suggesting overbought scenarios. The Bollinger Bands confirm this volatility, with prices frequently touching or crossing the upper and lower bands. Considering the support price of $3,190 and the resistance price of $4,100, I recommend a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. Specifically, we'll implement a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $2,950 plus $10, setting a stop loss at $2,840 plus $10 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $3,450 plus $10, aiming to capitalize on the upward trend. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the forecast data. As the forecast indicates a price increase, we'll adjust the target price to $3,670 plus $10, anticipating further gains. Furthermore, when the RSI reaches 70 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will take profit and re-enter when the RSI falls below 30 again. This dynamic approach allows us to maximize profits while minimizing risk. The portfolio will prioritize long positions, capitalizing on the prevailing upward momentum. The strategy is designed to be adaptive, responding to real-time market conditions and adjusting targets accordingly. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bittensor has been showing volatility, with support at $266 and resistance at $302. The RSI has fluctuated between 33.4 and 48.4, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have also widened, suggesting increased price volatility. Considering the current RSI of 47.4, which is approaching the overbought level of 80, and the forecast predicting a decrease in price to $278, I recommend a short position. The entry price will be $297, with a stop loss placed at $302 to protect against a potential upward reversal. The target price for this short position is $278, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated downward trend. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the middle band, and the forecast suggests a move towards the lower band. Therefore, I'll implement a modified short strategy. Enter a short position at $297, set a stop loss at $302, and target the lower Bollinger Band, which is forecasted to be around $278. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band approach provides a balanced strategy, considering both momentum and volatility indicators. This strategy aims for a high return by capitalizing on the predicted downward trend while managing risk with a clearly defined stop loss. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena has been fluctuating within a narrow range, with support around $0.26 and resistance around $0.28. The RSI indicates that the asset is generally within a neutral range, occasionally dipping slightly into oversold territory but not consistently. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands, suggesting potential for short-term price swings. Given the forecast of decreasing prices over the next week, ranging from $0.257 to $0.252, a conservative strategy focusing on short-term bounces near the support level is recommended. Therefore, I propose a strategy to buy Ethena at $0.257, placing a stop-loss order at $0.252 to limit potential losses. The target price for this trade will be $0.267, aiming to capitalize on a potential rebound from the support level. This strategy combines the RSI's indication of potential oversold conditions with the Bollinger Band's suggestion of price volatility, while also considering the downward forecast. The portfolio will prioritize this bounce strategy, as it balances risk and potential reward within the current market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Tezos has shown a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and slight upward movement. The support price consistently holding at $0.492 suggests a strong floor, while the resistance at $0.53 presents a potential ceiling. The RSI fluctuates between 37 and 49, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has generally remained within the bands, with occasional touches of the lower band, suggesting periods of relative undervaluation. My strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands, prioritizing entries near the support level and utilizing the bands for price targets. My recommended strategy is a long position with an entry price of $0.488. The stop loss should be set just below the support level at $0.48 to protect against downside risk. The initial target price will be $0.499, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to break even to secure the profit. A secondary target price is $0.501, based on the forecast for December 18, 2025. This strategy aims to capitalize on potential upward momentum while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, BONK has been trading within a narrow range between $0.000000960 and $0.000000990. The RSI has fluctuated between 33.3 and 47.6, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been relatively tight, suggesting low volatility. The forecast for the next week predicts a slight downward trend, with prices ranging from $0.000000930 to $0.000000950. Given these factors, I recommend a cautious trading strategy focusing on short-term movements within the established range. My proposed strategy is to implement a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands trading. Specifically, when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI falls below 35, it signals a potential buying opportunity. Enter a long position at $0.000000930, set a stop loss slightly below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.000000920, and target a profit near the upper Bollinger Band at $0.000000990. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI exceeds 45, consider a short position. Enter a short position at $0.000000940, place a stop loss above the upper Bollinger Band at $0.000000950, and target a profit at $0.000000930. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while mitigating risk with well-defined stop-loss levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUN token shows a slight upward trend, consolidating within the 0.0209 to 0.0215 range. The RSI consistently hovers between 30 and 50, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is currently approaching the lower band, which could signal a potential short-term bounce. Therefore, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. We will implement a combined strategy using RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to maximize efficiency. Our strategy involves a tiered approach. First, initiate a long position at $0.0209 when the price touches the support level and the RSI is below 40. Set a stop loss at $0.0204, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $0.0214, aligning with the resistance level. If the price reaches $0.0214, consider moving the stop loss to break even and holding the position for a potential move towards $0.0215. If the RSI reaches 80 or above, close the position. This combined approach leverages multiple indicators to optimize entry, risk management, and profit-taking, aiming for a high probability, moderate return investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dash has been experiencing significant volatility, with support around $47 and resistance around $50.4. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a generally weak momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has recently moved towards the lower band, suggesting a potential oversold condition. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy with an entry price of $47.7. A stop loss should be set at $47 to limit potential losses if the price breaks below the support level. The initial target price should be $48.7, aligning with the recent forecast and a conservative move towards the resistance level. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI dips below 38.6, it indicates an oversold condition, which is consistent with the recent price action. When the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it further confirms the potential for a rebound. Therefore, I suggest adjusting the target price to $49.4 if the RSI reaches 50 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band. This portfolio combines the support and resistance levels, RSI, and Bollinger Bands for optimal efficiency. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aave shows a generally upward trend, bouncing between a support price of $177 and a resistance price of $228. The RSI fluctuates around 50, indicating neither overbought nor oversold conditions currently. However, the forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward movement, with prices reaching $207. Considering the RSI strategy, we can implement a buy strategy when the RSI falls below 20, and a sell strategy when it rises above 80. The Bollinger Band strategy suggests buying when the price touches the lower band and selling when it touches the upper band. Combining these, I recommend a buy order at $194 with a stop loss at $183 and a target price of $207. To maximize efficiency, I propose a portfolio strategy that combines all three approaches. Given the recent upward trend and the forecast, I suggest a long position. Entry price is $194, placing the stop loss at $187, just above the recent support level and below the center of the Bollinger Bands. The target price is set at $204, aligning with the forecast high and providing a reasonable profit margin. This strategy leverages the upward momentum while incorporating risk management through the stop loss and profit-taking target. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the anticipated price increase while safeguarding against potential downturns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat shows a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The price has recently tested the resistance level of $0.439 and has bounced back, indicating potential short-term volatility. The RSI values fluctuate between 37.0 and 57.1, suggesting that the asset is neither consistently overbought nor oversold. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, indicating increasing volatility. Considering the forecast prices, which are expected to hover around $0.39 to $0.41, a cautiously bullish strategy is warranted. Therefore, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. We will initiate a long position at $0.39, coinciding with the first forecast price and the lower end of the expected range. A stop-loss order will be placed at $0.368, aligning with the established support level to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.413, corresponding to the highest forecast price. If this target is reached, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.39 to secure profits and manage risk. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward movement while mitigating downside risk through strategic stop-loss placement. Based on the historical data and forecast, basic attention shows a generally upward trend with some volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 50, indicating bullish momentum, but occasionally approaches the oversold level of 20. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within the bands, with recent price action pushing towards the upper band. The forecast predicts a continued upward movement, reaching $0.3. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI falls below 40, indicating a potential oversold condition and a buying opportunity. The entry price will be $0.244. A stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.264, specifically at $0.263, to limit potential losses. The target price will be set at $0.288, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we enter a long position at $0.244. The stop loss remains at $0.263. The initial target is $0.288, but if the price breaks through the upper Bollinger Band, we'll adjust the target to $0.3. This dynamic target allows us to capitalize on continued upward momentum. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will prioritize this strategy due to its comprehensive analysis of both momentum and volatility. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash has shown significant volatility, with a recent downtrend followed by a recovery. The RSI consistently stayed below 80, indicating the asset is not overbought, but it has recently moved above 50, suggesting a potential upward momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, reflecting increased volatility, and the price has been bouncing off the lower band, which is a bullish signal. Given the current RSI of 51.8 and the forecast prices trending upwards, I recommend a long position. Entry price should be $426. The stop loss should be set just below the recent low of $341, at $339 to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $456, aligning with the forecast price for December 16th. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price breaks above the upper band of $463, we should consider moving the stop loss to break even and setting a new target price of $482. Conversely, if the price fails to reach $456 and approaches the middle band, we should reevaluate the position and potentially exit. This dynamic approach allows us to adapt to changing market conditions and maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The final portfolio will consist of a long position with an entry price of $426, a stop-loss price of $339, and an initial target price of $456, with adjustments based on the upper Bollinger Band.